Imagine a business with no returns, where your customers are loyal, not because they love your product, but because they literally can't leave. No discounts, no angry reviews. You don't spend $1 on marketing or loyalty programs. They're kept inside by concrete, locks, and guards. Every day, they stay in, paid for by your taxes. The longer they stay, the more you earn. And if someone tries to escape, you're not penalized, you're rewarded. Welcome to the private prison industry, where punishment is a product. Inmates are assets, and recidivism, that's repeat business. This isn't some wild conspiracy. It's contracts and numbers. Let's take a look at how it all works. Every successful business starts with a sales funnel, and the American prison system is no different. Except here, the funnel doesn't start with a website or a promo. It starts at a school desk, literally. In the US, there's a thing called the school-to-prison pipeline. And that's not a metaphor. It's a real production line where kids go in one end and inmates come out the other. In high-risk neighborhoods, kids get on the system's radar from elementary school. Not because they're dangerous, but because the system is designed to target them. Police officers inside schools, zero-tolerance policies, harsh punishments for minor stuff. It's all part of the same machine. You could be a 10-year-old who got into a fight at recess and end up with a record. Your stats, your zip code, your background, it all tells the system one thing: you're a future client. And just like any good sales funnel, once you're in, the conversion rate is high. One wrong move, and you're in the system. Getting out? Harder than canceling Amazon Prime. Now that there's a steady stream of potential inmates, the next step is to make sure they actually get locked up. Enter laws. Meet ALEC, the American Legislative Exchange Council. It's a private group where corporations, lobbyists, and lawmakers write laws that help businesses profit. These laws then get passed in multiple states, sometimes word for word. From 2010 to 2018, ALEC helped push over 2,900 bills. More than 600 were passed. The idea behind these laws, simple and brutal. Mandatory minimum sentences. The 3 strikes rule: commit 3 crimes and you could be locked up for life. Harsh prison time for even minor offenses. You could literally get life for stealing 5 VHS tapes or a slice of pizza worth a couple bucks. That's not a joke. It's happened. Why does that matter? Because prisons are a business. About 65 to 70% of private prison contracts in the US include a lockup quota, a guaranteed occupancy rate. In some states, up to 100%. Doesn't matter if the beds are full or empty. The company still gets paid. That's not a glitch. It's a strategy. A business model where the law isn't about justice, but about monetization. Its goal isn't to protect people, it's to turn them into recurring revenue. And now, for the best part of any startup, monetization. Meet Core Civic and GEO Group. These aren't just prison companies, they're REITs, real estate investment trusts. Yeah, prisons that trade on the stock market like we work with bars. Picture the investor pitch. We've got 80% occupancy, government funding, 0 competition, high retention. We literally lock people up and the cash flows in. Rehabilitation? No thanks. That's not our KPI. We don't count lives changed. We count beds filled. The more bodies, the better the stock price. And now that inmates are assets, the next logical step, make them work for cheap. Ideally, almost free. A lot of people know inmates in the US work, but very few realize this labor is part of a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's not about rehabilitation, it's about business. A business where people work for pennies and companies cash in. The average pay, anywhere from 12 to 50 cents an hour. Sometimes it's 0. That's cheaper than sweatshops in some developing countries, and way below minimum wage in the US. And here's the kicker. Companies you know and trust might be indirectly profiting from this. In the past, suppliers for Walmart and Victoria's Secret were linked to prison labor. Sure, the brands deny it, but the supply chains are messy. And at the very bottom, a human being earning 30 cents. They make everything: furniture, cleaning supplies, clothes. It helps cut production costs and makes shareholders happy. The lives of the workers, not exactly a priority. If cheap labor is about exploiting the body, the next level is exploiting emotion. Welcome to prison tech, a market where the users are inmates and there's no competition, no other service provider, no option to cancel. Want to talk to your family? Pay up. Can't afford it? Stay isolated. A great example is a startup called Pigeonly. It was founded by Frederick Hudson, a guy who actually did time. He wasn't just guessing, he lived it. He knew how painful and broken the system was. While he was locked up, he couldn't get in touch with his family. Letters got lost. Phone calls cost as much as a plane ticket. So he came up with a platform that would help inmates connect with loved ones in a cheaper, easier way. Sounds noble, right? But as soon as the system realized there was money in those calls, things changed. Telecom companies that had contracts with prisons started pushing out competitors. They locked down deals, set their own prices, and turned communication into a monopoly. Now we're back to square one. A video call can cost up to $1 a minute. And the prison telecom market, worth $1.4 billion a year. Calls that are supposed to keep families together have become a product, a commodity, a monetized service. And if you don't have money, too bad. You don't get to hear your kid's voice. Once you land in prison, you enter a world where everything costs money. From a pack of ramen to a call home, the prison commissary is the only place to get basic stuff. Soap, pads, toothpaste. But the prices? Like you're shopping at Whole Foods. Ramen for $3, toilet paper at triple the price, phone calls up to $1.50 a minute. Meanwhile, the average inmate wage is 30 to 50 cents an hour. If you're not lucky enough to have a job, you survive on whatever your family can send you. And even that gets taxed, with fees for deposits, transfer of services, and a cut taken from every transaction. Want to listen to music? You have to rent a player and pay for each song like it's old school iTunes. The device breaks? Tough luck. Send it back and you lose your entire library. Same goes for healthcare. Get sick? You wait. Need insulin? It might not be there. Hurt yourself? Here's some ibuprofen. It's not just system failure. It's by design. The less money they spend on you, the more profit the prison contractor makes. And if something goes wrong, suing is nearly impossible. There's a special law that makes it harder for inmates to file complaints. Plus, many contracts already protect the companies in advance from liability. This isn't a bug in the system, it's a feature. Prison turns into a subscription model, where you pay just to survive. But here's the most cynical part. The prison system keeps making money off you even after you get out. Roughly 70% of inmates end up back inside within a few years. That's not a failure. That is the system. You're released with no money, no ID, no support. You've got a record, which means no job, no apartment, no insurance. You're vulnerable. And that makes you predictable. And business loves predictable. So yeah, chances are you'll come back. You'll be a product again. Fill the same bed, turn the profit machine back on. It's not random, it's a closed loop, and it's designed that way. Welcome back. Enjoy another 5 years. Bonus points if you get the same mattress. And if you think only corporations benefit from this, take a look at the map. There are towns in the US where a prison isn't just a building, it's the economic lifeline. The prison provides jobs, dozens, hundreds, thousands, guards, kitchen staff, janitors, drivers. Local schools get more funding. Stores stay open thanks to employees and visitors. If the prison shuts down, the whole town crashes. Places like that exist in Pennsylvania, California, Louisiana. Prisons become anchors for entire communities. And at some point, it doesn't matter if someone is rightfully incarcerated or not. What matters is that the bed stays filled. It's like pulling a block out of a Jenga tower. One wrong move and the whole thing collapses. So nobody moves. Everybody holds onto their job, even if it's built on someone else's captivity. Now imagine things could be different. In Norway, prisons look more like college dorms, with kitchens, bikes, and access to education. The goal isn't to break people down, it's to bring them back into society. Their recidivism rate? Around 20%. People get out, and they stay out. In the US, it's 70%. Prison is a loop, a machine, a factory. You go in, you come out, and you go back in again, because that's what's profitable. It's not a mistake. It's not a glitch. It's a business plan, and it's working. America turned punishment into a product, and demand is only growing. Maybe it sounds far away to you, like someone else's problem in some small town you've never heard of. But the prison business isn't some isolated thing. It's built right into the economy. Pension funds, big investment firms, government contracts, all of them are part of the same chain. Not because people are evil, but because the system is efficient. Because it works. If you've got a retirement plan, chances are it's tied to major investment funds, and those funds might own stock in private prison companies. Not directly, not on purpose, just by default. Prisons aren't somewhere else. They're already part of the financial landscape. And while some people lose their freedom, others get a reliable return on investment. Not because someone masterminded the whole thing, but because that's how it evolved. Because it's profitable. All those startup founders bragging about funding rounds and office parties, that's child's play. The real business of burning money is private prisons, where budgets get spent fast, impressively, and come with human lives included.